Nice. The princess has fled and tries to keep the frog at bay. So, let's give our slimy friend a little hand, shall we? Make it rotten. Right's a right. It must die.
And welcome back to American McGee's Grimm. This is the Frog Tale. I'm your mad host, as always. And, well, we have to help a frog get inside in order to bed with the princess. Well, not necessarily bed her, but, well, share her bed, but it might as well be in this terrible, terrible case. As disturbing as it is.
But stomp it!
Also, I just realized these nobles have like frogs in their hair and frogs all over them in general. Quite gruesome, really, to be fair. Be quaint. Also, if I remember, there's another gimmick that we'll be running into very quickly. So, Mr. Frog, if you'll kindly show us.
Stop it! Oh yes, a suitor with a 3-chambered heart in the bedchamber.
So yeah, we have to deal with running against rolling objects. In this case, in the form of a giant killer rolling frog, because she just has that on hand. What, you think? Wait, you don't? I know what you're talking about. That's pretty normal for me. So yeah, it's just basically running from corridor to get past her, and eventually just kind of getting to the point where we can just sort of deal with that on hand, like over here. Yeah, I would want to like deal with the other places first at least, but let's at least get her to keep her from converting that part of the world. I'd rather make sure I can just go down there and not have to deal with like rolling frogs anymore, so let's at least get to her and get rid of it first. Also, the Frog King is kind of a bastard because, well, yeah, I don't think I have to explain much to show why he's not good at his job, making my life a little more harder, if anything. Also, I don't think I was meant to make that jump at least the way I landed it, but oh well. Still pulled it off in the end.
That's dicey. Parents are okay with this? Make it repulsive. Stop it!
Also, apparently she just has like a bunch of like living dolls, which that's a bit weird, to be fair. And I think at this point she does not have any more. She won't be controlling that anymore. So I'm gonna go. Even though there's no reason for me to do so, I'm gonna go down and just very quickly get rid of the last bits that I need to do, which also gives me that secret there. So just very quickly go back down. So I don't think she's just gonna murder me with that giant frog of hers, because she has no reason to do so anymore. Again, at least I hope, because that would be just miserable. It's just like, oh yeah, hello, I remember, I still have this thing. You can go die now. Which again, that's just rude, if ever there was one. So let's just back up and let the princess and the frog kind of do their thing. Disturbing as that is, but who am I to judge? I mean, if a princess and a frog really want to get in bed, share a bed together, who am I to judge, eh?
What the hell? That's how it happened? I suppose.
Well, you thought the prince would, like, be a dark counterpart from, like, that? Clearly you haven't seen everything, but, oh well. Let us move onwards to the next scene.
Waiting carriage whisks our slimy sweethearts away in the dead of night. Off to greener pastures, perhaps? I've got an unusually good feeling about this particular wedding. Make it nasty. Make a mess.
And so here we are, back at roughly about where we started beforehand, at the very beginning of the game. Very beginning. So, yeah, we haven't really traveled. All things considered, we haven't really traveled that far. But I do believe there's, if I remember correctly, there should be a little bit more to do. At least now. But for now, let's just cover the world as we need to. Yes, indeed. As higher our darkness we can get before we move onwards, the better off we will be in the long run.
Stop it!
So I'll just get what I can, which should just be these trees. And mountains now, apparently, because it just got a little higher. So I'm not just wasting time for the sake of wasting time, I'm just doing what I can now so I don't have to do so immediately.
Was this a coronary version of a chastity belt? How are the bands installed? Yeah, never mind. Flaming pea! Let's make that real gross. Make it.
So, yeah, remember how I said, like, way back when in a couple of tales or so that Flaming Pea was is kinda useless for the most part? And isn't really implemented that well for the most, except for, like, one tale? Not to, like, impose anything of some sort, but, this is that tale I was referring to. It's probably the only time it's implemented well. Because we have all these, like, very nasty, Grimm-eating piranhas who can kill you even when they're not actually moving, which is odd, and I just happened to ran exactly where he was at the exact same random time, which is just awkward in general. Okay, I hope I hope you guys saw that, because he didn't really touch me, and that still counted somehow for me to be devoured whole. So I really would want to know why that's the case, and I hope someone wise beyond measure can tell me why that still kind of counts, because I think personally that's just silly. Grr. Yes, I am whinging about that because that's just silly for that to happen. Right. That's all said and done, so let's just actually go with a good use of the Flaming Piss, which is, well, burning these terrible, terrible plants alive. It's exactly what they deserve anyway. If you haven't guessed, I'm completely fine with this, because it's actually kind of humorous, and again, that's what these bastards rightfully deserve. Not only that, but we can also burn the vegetation as well, which is always handy. Serves them right. So with that, we can move on. We can move ahead and continue converting the world to like the worst place on Earth. I believe over here gets us the secret that we saw beforehand, so that's always good.
But stop it!
I believe now that we are slightly more putrid, we get probably the best of Grimm's jumps, which is this majestic twirl that he adds. I don't know why, but I just love it. It's like unnecessary, but I appreciate for just how goofy it is. Like, yay! It's like Grimm's just happy to just make the world miserable. It's like, woohoo! I'm going to make everything dark and miserable forever. It's the main reason why I enjoy this. And, well, we have more platforming with crocodiles. And more timed platforming with those said crocodiles. Isn't that wonderful? Not only that, but all sorts of timed platforming. Yeah, joyous, isn't it? No? You guys just happen to know how much I enjoy. I enjoy platforming and the weirdest kind when I'm clearly... How am I on this thing? How did I pull that off? Actually, I'm not going to question... I shouldn't question that, because I should just accept it at face value and just go.
Now that's what I was hoping to see. Amphibian revenge could be an ugly thing.
And now for our final scene of the Frog King.
The princess and the Frog King arrive at his estate. Maybe the royal amphibian's story was only half true. What if she has to become more froggy? Make it said. It's Grimm time.
And here we are at the final part of our tale here. The princess is marrying the new rejuvenated king of the frogs, and all seems pretty good. They're gonna have a wedding at his estate. And for some reason his kingdom seems pretty normal, even though he was cursed to be a frog. But what if it could be more so than that, you know? What if he wasn't the only one cursed with that to be what if he wasn't the only one like stuck in that curse? What if his entire kingdom was forced to share it with him? Yes, I think you all get the implication I'm going with, and what we might be doing to the people here. For indeed, we're just going to kind of add some more color to this place. I mean, it sort of deserves it. Adds more character to such a doomed kingdom. A cursed one, no less. What would the princess think then? Actually, with all these caged frogs. Which really, if you think about it, there is something kind of messed up with those implications of why would a king who was cursed to be a frog have all these other frogs just chained up and trapped forever? It seems rather unusual, for lack of a better word. Wouldn't he be... Why would he do this to what was, at a time, literally his kin and kindred? These could actually be... But again, as Grimm implies, perhaps there's more to this tale than we know. Would you like to know? I'll show.
The happy couple looks a bit too human, don't they? Let's make them ribbity. Let's get this over with.
Yes, I think you see exactly where this is going. Our king was not the only one trapped with the curse, this amphibious curse, but his whole kingdom was, in fact, a plague, turned into a living plague of frogs. It's only right. After all, he is the Frog King. and I'll let his subjects. And now she is in his court. So it is time that they themselves finally see the process. The king and the king's court. It's time for him. It's time for her to see the true face of his kingdom. As the frog shall dance and sing, dance and sing. Such sweet fly shall be given to all, I hear at least. They dance and sing, all for their froggy king.
This royal wedding has a pleasantly swampy theme. The bride doesn't look too pleased, though. Not the sort of happy reunion she had, I'm sure.
And with that, I leave you all with Grimm.
The union of bewitched beasts and humans is a tiresome theme in fairy tales. Things always work out for the humans in the end. It all happens a bit predictably, doesn't it? What if there were really significant challenges to overcome? The princess doesn't play alone by choice. Look at her, unsocialized and unloved, obviously neglected and isolated in a dangerous place. Her repetitive motion is a clear sign of depression. Who, besides me of course, could blame her tears?
I'll retrieve your ball, you willful waif, but not for nothing.
Do it then and name your price. But I have only myself to give.
That might be enough. Brush your teeth while I'm gone, and have a wash.
Finding the ball is the least of his worries, really. There's a humongous rat that thinks he's just seen dinner. He gets the ball and goes. Yeah, that liquid is nearly solid.
We'll eat together tonight, then?
Hey, you. Are you fond of frog's legs?
Undaunted by the princess's subtle threat, the frog shows up for dinner and takes over the proceedings.
Everyone settled in nicely. Decent vintage of fly larvae? Oh yes. May was a good month. And you, princess, say hello to my great Uncle Fester. He's messing in your left ear, and that's Pete, my third cousin twice removed, down your dress.
He's all affability and good manners at dinner, but some postprandial hijinks of an intimate nature are sure to be on offer for dessert.
I'm ill. I need solitary confinement for several days.
Nonsense, princess. I'll join you upstairs shortly. I'll just lead our guests out, or into some boiling water. Never liked that branch of the family.
Ew, warts.
Yeah, baby, I'm a toad, so what? Only a fisherman would think you a prize catch.
Well, I should say something clever, but, I can't think of anything. This'll do. You. You're a human, sort of. And still alive.
And you still look like a halibut. But I'll take you anyway.
Well, better you than no one. Not much I wouldn't do to leave this place. Ooh, I can see your kingdom from my house.
Perhaps the princess conceals her joy for cause. More likely there's none to hide, leaving misery and abuse for an unknown future as bride/indentured servant to a frog-like being is not an unqualified happy prospect. Toy with a frog's affections? Bad idea. Gobsmack a frog? Go to jail. Or worse, marry a frog? Ugh. You don't even want to think about it. May all our stories end so well. Until next time, ribbit.